Some of you may be asking, why is my child not interested in playing new sports? Or doesn't want to play any sports at all? Why would he much rather play video games? Or do you have a child that only wants to play hockey, nothing else? Hockey year-round? Is this a good thing? These are questions that many of us have, and they are questions that iPlay can help you answer. My name is Gaston, and I'm the Athletic Director of iPlay Athletics. The goal of this video is to help you understand what iPlay is and how it can help your child. Now, if I were limited to a single sentence to describe what iPlay is, I would probably have to say something like, well, simply put, iPlay is a daycare that focuses on physical activities and sports. Actually, iPlay is much more than simply learning how to properly throw a ball. But before I get into the details of iPlay, I would like to get back to some of the questions I just mentioned. One of them being, why does my child much rather play video games? Now, one reason kids love video games is that they can play without being judged. Most of the time, nobody's looking when they play. Nobody's making fun of them when they make a mistake. And nobody is expecting them to get to a certain level by the end of the season. Nobody's telling them that they should have shot the monster in the leg instead of the arm during the drive home. Now, with organized sports, it's nearly impossible for a child to completely escape the pressures of being judged by parents, coaches, and especially other kids. Before the age of 6, kids don't really care about what others think of their performance. Just look at 4 or 5-year-olds playing soccer. They're having fun. They don't care if they can barely kick the ball. They just want to kick the ball because it's fun. But when kids start comparing themselves with others, and they think they're not as good, it's not as fun anymore. Another common question is, why is my child not interested in trying a new sport? One key factor in determining if your child will try or enjoy a new sport is confidence. If your child knows that they possess the skills necessary to play a certain sport, they will be less hesitant to try it. So how do you build confidence in sports? Well, one way is to improve your child's physical literacy. Now, physical literacy is one of the main factors to decide if your child will want to participate in various sports, and a very important factor in deciding how much or how little they will enjoy it. When a child doesn't think they're good at something, they will tend to shy away from it and simply say that they don't like it. But in reality, it's not that they don't like it. It's that they don't have the confidence in the skills they possess to be able to do it. They are afraid of failing and being judged and laughed at by others. Understanding physical literacy as a parent is very important. So what is physical literacy? To help you better understand the concept, let's start with simply literacy. Because reading a book is to literacy what playing a sport is to physical literacy. The most fundamental building blocks of literacy are the letters of the alphabet. By themselves, letters don't do much. Writing the letter H on a piece of paper has very little significance. But when you start joining letters together, you form words, and suddenly there is meaning to these letters. By simply adding 5 letters to the letter H, you can end up with the word house. Suddenly there is meaning. Not much, but a little bit. But when you put dozens, hundreds, thousands of words together, you end up with bedtime stories, recipe books, romance novels, a 1,500-page introduction to astrophysics. Now, for physical literacy, we don't have letters as the basic building blocks. Instead, we have what we call fundamental movement skills. Depending on who you ask, the actual number of fundamental movement skills varies. But in general, the number is close to the number of letters in the alphabet, somewhere between 26 and 30. A few of the most common fundamental movement skills are running, jumping, throwing, kicking, etc. Just as the letters of the alphabet, fundamental movement skills by themselves don't do that much. A 3-year-old might disagree with me saying that because for him, spinning around for 20 minutes can be a whole lot of fun. But please bear with me. Even though one fundamental skill by itself doesn't allow you to do much, join them together and you start having what are known as sport skills. Just like the word volleyball uses 7 different letters, the sport skill of doing a spike in volleyball uses 7 different fundamental movement skills. Now combine the different sport skills of spiking, serving, bumping, volleying, blocking, and that's when you end up with the sport of volleyball. Or to follow our literacy analogy, you end up with a book. I say it again, reading a book is to literacy what playing a sport is to physical literacy. Children can only start to read once they understand the alphabet. And once they can read any book. It doesn't matter the subject. They might not understand everything that they are reading at first, but at least they won't be afraid to try. So once they are competent performing the fundamental movement skills, they will be able to play any sport. They might not be great at them at first, but they will know that they have the skills necessary to improve and ultimately succeed. Now, having your child play hockey 4 times a week, almost year-round, does not make your child physically literate. Having your child only play hockey is like only teaching your child certain letters of the alphabet. Some basic skills like throwing, catching, and jumping are not really part of the game of hockey. Now, I'm not saying that your child shouldn't play hockey. On the contrary, hockey requires skating, for example, which is another fundamental movement skill. And that skill is not part of soccer, baseball, or basketball. My point is that before the age of 12, you want to make sure that your child learns all the fundamental movement skills. In other words, you want to teach them all the letters of the alphabet. Not only will this make your child better in their favorite sport, it will make them a better overall athlete. Someone that can quickly and easily pick up any sport with confidence and enjoyment. Now I'd like to get back to what is iPlay. Yes, iPlay is a daycare that focuses on physical activities and sports. But more specifically, iPlay is a place where kids can learn, practice, and improve their fundamental movement skills and become physically literate. It's a place where kids are taught of not being afraid or ashamed of trying and failing. iPlay is a place where kids learn that effort means everything. Effort is what makes you better. It's what makes you succeed. iPlay is where you can learn to deal with adversity. And sadly, for many kids, dealing with adversity is throwing the ball to the ground and yelling, "I quit," or "You cheated," when they're about to lose. iPlay is also where you learn to become a good winner. Someone that will respect their opponent. iPlay is where you learn to encourage those that are struggling because you realize that you were once that child that couldn't catch the ball. iPlay is where we teach children to raise their own personal standards, to want more from themselves. iPlay is a place where we help build important life skills through sports. iPlay is where your child can discover a passion not only for sports, but also for just simply playing. It is a place where you can do all of this while having fun. Now that is iPlay. Now, if you're interested in iPlay, a great way to really learn what iPlay is to actually have your child try it for a full week for free. You can contact us to know more about our free trial. Thank you for spending your time with us.